Fuel your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just 1 tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition store.
Taurus music. When I get that itch, adrenaline, it's only you that I wanna run to. Hata nikikumiss, sina worries. I know my baby boo is gonna come through. You're the only one that I want. Never met none like you before. Don't waste no time, need love. Come check me out. I think I got a fever. Baby, put your hands on my back like that. Maybe you can go a little bit lower like that. Just a little bit lower like that. Oh, I want that like that. Baby, put your hands on my back like that. Maybe you can go a little bit lower like that. Just a little bit lower like that. Oh, I want that like that. You should know nakupenda, kwa wengine sitoenda. I'm the one for you. What you want, I'll do. You should know nakupenda, kwa wengine sitoenda. Baby, I'm the one for you. What you want, I'll do. The only one who knows how I like it. No slow, a little fast with some hyping. Wacha maringo sunajua hi-fi. I love the way you look, boy, so enticing. Kuwa nawe, kucheza nawe, kupenda nawe, nataka niwe nawe. Usiniache, nishikilie, mimi nawe. You should know nakupenda, kwa wengine sitoenda. I'm the one for you. What you want, I'll do. You should know nakupenda, kwa wengine sitoenda. Your hands on my back. So you can go a little bit lower. Just a little bit lower like that. Oh, I want that.
Good afternoon, family.
Like that.
Good morning.
Hands on my back like that.
Grand rising.
A little bit lower like that.
10 minutes past the top of the hour.
Oh, like that.
Welcome to another episode of the Pan-African Bliss Show. You guys are doing amazing. Good evening to the new listeners, subscribers. That like button as you join in kindly.
Na wenye chuki watabonga, wakiongea tunasonga, wale wambea wataona, mapenzi yetu yakinoga. You should know nakupenda, kwa wengine sitoenda. I'm the one for you. What you want, I'll do. You should know nakupenda.
Yes, that is Tally 254, and the name of the jam is like that, playing right here on the media of the 21st century. Karibuni sana. Hope you guys are doing amazing this wonderful morning, afternoon from my end, 16 minutes past the top of the hour. My name is Joby. To the first-time listeners and, of course, returning listeners on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, on the radio station. To those who shall be catching this on Spreaker, I had Keith say something about our shows not being on Spreaker. We are back. And, of course, also on Spotify. Karibuni sana once again. And today, or rather on today's conversation, we shall be talking about how Africa must restrategize its governance and start over. And we're talking generally about the conversation we shall be having today, which majorly one of it is hit by what Trump actually has done. Shmani, sukunywa maji, excuse. Okay. Yeah, one is actually, of course, hit by what is happening with the U.S. president. That is, of course, Trump, who has banned for several African countries from going to the United, or rather the people of these particular countries going to the United States. And it comes after an attack was actually, of course, coming from an Egyptian, which is not facing a serious travel ban. But we do have Congo, Chad, Eritrea, Sudan, and Somali. And also other more countries we'll be mentioning on that. We also have DRC Congo, which is part of our conversation, where we say the authorities have banned the media on reporting about the ex-president, that is, of course, Joseph Kabila. I remember yesterday, Iwaton did tackle on that. Of course, remember a few weeks or a month ago, he was seen supporting supporting the M23 rebel, where he appeared to be back in the country. And of course, he happened to be actually on the region where the M23 rebel have taken over. And this, of course, sparks a lot of criticisms, where he's been accused of supporting the group. And, he has been a president. If we go back to his history, which I've done before, I don't need to, we know he didn't do anything for the Congolese people. So it's all patriotism conversation. In Kenya, we have a bill seeking to criminalize detention of dead bodies by hospitals over unpaid bills. And this is a bill currently right now in parliament. And I kind of feel this is good, because I've spoken about this, where it's just super inhumane to see that our hospitals literally would hold bodies for years or even months just because a family cannot be able to bail the body out, or even patients would be detained for so long because they're not able to pay the amount that actually they owe the hospitals. And unlike Africa, or unlike America, because we were checking yesterday on the literally the amount you get to pay a day in the hospital in the States, it's super, super crazy. In Kenya, if I am to check, probably it's cheaper, of course, compared to the United States, but still, you staying in an hospital and you don't even have a job, you're struggling, probably you are brought here, you are in a critical condition, and you cannot be able to pay this amount of money. Now the hospitals end up detaining you. So I'll be tackling on that, discuss a little bit on corruption and how much it costs Africa for corrupt leaders, how they literally drown us down economically. And then last but not least, I'll be sharing a video coming from Dr. Arikana, who's talking about, of course, the remarks of Ramaphosa. That is when he went to visit, of course, Trump. And also we have Ibrahim Traore, who also talked about it. I've not been able to find a video, but along this, we shall be also, of course, aligning with that if I'll find an article. Karibuni sana once again. But before we get started, I want to share some amazing health and benefits, amazing organic supplements with you. We have some brain and focus. Like I said, we have the multivitamin coming at a very affordable price and much more. We have CMOS, we have turmeric gummy bears, and much more aligned for you. But for now, get yourself this one as you get focused.
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
And much more of those amazing supplements. They are all affordable. We also have an active apparel store. Get yourself some hoodie, beanie, t-shirts, vests, whatever you require. And of course, ask any questions that you have before and after the purchase. We have an active chat on the apparel store, and also, of course, on the health supplement store. We also have an active email, kcnews15@gmail.com. Rather, also DM us on our Instagram page. Black Hot Fire Network Radio is the name. Karibuni sana once again. Hope you guys are ready for the conversation. And of course, hit the like button as we get started with, of course, looking at corruption cost, or rather how much corruption costs Africa, and the estimation, literally, we get to lose $150 billion every single year. And this is because of corruption. And if you were to look at corruption deeper, of course, you're talking about, it's actually very big, at a very big angle. We're talking about leaders who, number one, don't develop these countries. They have not brought any development, created any job opportunities. They have gone ahead and created a state of nepotism, where it's all about family members who are going to be kept in these particular sectors of offices. You're going to be running this sector, you're going to be running this sector. And this goes generations to generation, where it's a system of nepotism. So talk about corruption, that is also super deep. And this family members end up actually being paid more than what they deliver as well. And they're given actually positions of skills that they don't even have. Okay? Skills that they don't have, they can't deliver majority of the jobs that they are being given or put in the office that they're supposed to deliver something. They can't do so. So they're put in high salaries, doing nothing, zero skills, which of course is a big part of promotion of corruption. Leave alone that, we also have, of course, borrowing of loans. If you look at most of the African countries, apart from the Alliance Sahel state currently, which is walking away from debt, most of the African countries are so reliant on the World Bank, the IMF, on creating this so-called development project or collaboration, which we see doesn't take us anywhere. Talk about Chinese or the Chinese farm companies. How many do we have in every African countries? The ones in mining sectors, the one in the industrial sectors, the ones in schools, probably, I'm not sure, because they're taking and marking territory in every corner. That is part of corruption. We take and borrow so much money, yet we pay even much more, because we have to pay with interest. Remember that. We have to pay with interest. And we saw the UN, of course, that was 3 weeks ago. The UN came out and was very mad and furious about why some of the African countries are not renewing their, I don't know if it was a license or deal regarding on how they're supposed to be paying their debt with interest. Don't forget the interest. You're not just paying a debt. You're paying a debt with interest. So if you look at corruption at a very bigger angle, which I can't even get to be breaking it further, if you do understand, it is literally operating in different ways. Nepotism, debt, talk about offshores. These people have, they have outside the countries, outside the continent of Africa, to be specific, and so much more. But this is an article released just a few hours ago, which is speaking about corruption. And they're saying corruption in Africa isn't just about bribes or stolen funds. Exactly. Because you look about corruption, you always look at bribes and stolen funds. It is an invisible tax drain that continents the future. Every year, it's estimated that over $150 billion is lost due to corruption, and that money that could fund the healthcare, build roads, improve schools, or support small businesses. Instead, it disappears into other offshore accounts, which I did mention. We have padded contracts and ghost projects that never get completed. Exactly. Because if you look at, actually, especially in the African continent and with these politicians, it's always mind games and schemes of, we have a new project coming. And if you look at the funds being proposed and the funds put on the actual project, it's zero. A good example is one of the Kenyan content creator and comedian, shout out to Crazy Kena. I did share a video of him some time back when he was giving an example of how literally when these contractors come to Kenya, if let's say we have an African contractor and he wants to actually deliver the best, you have the office of the governor, you have the senator, you have the MP, you have the MCA. All of them, they are taking and snatching this money. So by the time you get into the project, you have zero funds. You create some shitty and incomplete bridge, and then you come launch it and tell people this costed us the amount we did say some time back. But where are the funds? Where is the bridge incomplete? Or there's complications now, we need more money so we can make the project, and still it won't be done. So corruption actually is super deep than how we view it, apart from bribe and stolen funds. It's tax. I love the fact that actually he or she didn't mention the invisible tax. If you look at currently right now, we have the US, of course, which is supposed to be talking about its budget, which of course we've seen with the tariffs, things are getting crazy. People might face inflation. And then we also have, of course, in African countries, the same thing, especially in Kenya. The finance bill 2025 has already been released, and people are already going crazy about it. We're talking about people's data being invaded. This authority of the system being able to see you, where you are, what you're doing, where you're typing from, what you're posting, how much you spend, how much you save, how much you receive, how much you withdraw. It's keeping data of everything about you, which we should be able to be rejecting right now, or we should reject as we talk. But yes, they're saying, as I get to continue this article, that the money could fund healthcare, build roads, improve schools, or support small businesses. Instead, it disappears in offshore accounts, padded contracts, and ghost projects that never get completed. This the kind of loss, this kind of loss doesn't just hurt the budget, it fuels poverty. And when money meant for clean water system gets siphoned off, the entire community gets to suffer. And this is why you have people like now, what is his name? Mr. Beast coming to help you with his YouTube little funds, making it look like it's a miracle. Well, we really have funds stolen from our pockets that are supposed to be giving us these services. He continues and says, when a hospital budget is looted, the patients die from the retirable conditions from retirable conditions. And when road contractors are inflated and unfulfilled, farmers can't transport goods and students can't get to school. Corruption also drives away investments. No business wants to set up a shop where they have to pay off gatekeepers just to function. Of course, this is one of the reasons you see in countries like Nigeria, Kenya, and other countries. Literally, so many businesses or companies are withdrawing from these countries because of the corruption, which is, especially in Nigeria, it's super, super high. Talk about Kenya. We have Ruto right now taxing us left, right, and center in every corner. You can't
Nothing's worse than Nigeria. Nigeria's a child. Everybody understand. Nigeria's a basket state. It is.
Mhm,
It is really a failed state.
mhm.
I meant to send you a video. So I knew you always talk about Nigeria every day. I shouldn't. I'm going to send you a video for your show today of his Nigerian. It's really a failed state. It's a failed state because you can explain the economy of Nigeria and how it's fallen from number one, number four because of the corruption and the like everybody's saying. How's guitar richer than how's any what you call fake? I don't like to call it the Middle East, but because it's Northeast Africa. How does any Northeast Arabic country richer than Nigeria? How is that even possible? Because of these moronic Negroes who sold out to the Rockefellers who stolen all their wealth. Um, because this is absolutely crazy. Nigeria should be 10 times richer than any Dubai, any Qatar, any Saudi Arabia, 10 times richer. But
Mhm.
it actually is 10 times richer. It's that the white man gets 90% of the wealth and the puppets get 10% and the people on the ground get nothing. So this is what's been happening. So also that's why Bikini Faso is such a I want you guys to understand that what Bikini Faso what Ibrahim Toure has done has been this is almost like this is on miracle level. Understand, he's the first one. I'm not understating this. What I'm telling you, I'm not. This is not me being hyperbolic. This is me being as truthful as I can try to tell you guys. Even Toure, it's the first time Africa's ever had an airplane made in Africa with African people. Not buying them because Africans always buy everybody's junk. Like you buy old cast off clothing, old cars. Like you said, this car is new in Africa. This shit's 10 years old and it's a junk. Uh,
Mhm.
you buy old airplanes for your military because you really don't got any military. So what he did is he said, okay, we're going to start building our own planes. So understand this, and he understood. He smart enough to understood that the white man don't want you to do that. He wants you to be impoverished. So he made it all secret. So it was all he never announced it. It was in a secret hangar. He had the parts come in all secretly, but there no Chinese built it. Didn't nobody Africans built it, right? So since the Europeans had spies all throughout Africa, they got wind of it. Like he said, I know they're gonna get wind of it because we're not gonna announce it until we already got it built. We're not gonna announce it because they're gonna come and try to sabotage it, which they tried to do when they finally found out what was going on. So they had these secret hangars built to build it in secret, right? So he built it in secret, right? So he built it in secret, right? So
Yeah.
um they tried to sabotage it, right? They tried to sabotage that, and what happened is they were too late. They had the French spies, and a couple of people got caught trying to blow the place up. But they got caught. So when it rolled out, guys, I want you guys to understand how big this is for Africa. I want you to understand the gravity of what this man is doing. So when that plane rolled out last week or 2 weeks, when it was, this changed everything. It means Africa can now build fighter jets and build planes to police its own skies. It doesn't need anybody. And so who came calling when they couldn't blow it up? They still want to try to stop the other ones from being built. Because now they got an aerospace. Now now Africa's stepped into the aerospace arena where it now can manufacture its own planes. And that means he can sell planes, real new planes, cheaply to other African nations. So that's why the white man came out. Oh, we want to come buy it. We want to come get the technology because the technology on it is astronomical. So then he said, no, we're going to build aviation schools for Africans all around the continent to come in and learn how to build it and how to build it for their own countries. So Africa's the future, guys. So that's why they need to kill him. And so also with the oil, what he's done, what this man's done, but you ain't done in 40 years as a president, you're 20 years, 30 years. You should be ashamed of yourself. What he's done is just remarkable. Africa now has their own planes. Yeah, you have your own planes now. So to say that you can't build nothing is a lie. You built it. It flew. And it's high tech. Go, Joby.
I feel like where now Burkina Faso is heading should be also a threat to countries like now Russia and China, because they are coming up with, things that we could borrow from Russia and China that now we can be able to do it ourselves right here.
That's what he did. Exactly right, Joe. Because remember, those students came from Russia. You learn. So I told you, Joe, but you're going to learn the technology. You come back and build it yourself, and then you make it better. Same way the Chinese did to the Americans. You come back and you learn the technology, then you make it better. You teach your children, teach your people how to do it, then they'll start to innovate.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That is amazing. But yes, we're talking about corruption here. I was mentioning Nigeria as one of the countries where I read an article. Many companies are withdrawing and shutting down their businesses because of corruption level right there. And this article is just breaking it down, where we have the invisible taxes that are always stolen from us. And all this money, instead of going to hospitals, to schools, improving schools, roads, better road projects, it all goes back to offshores, accounts, padded contracts, and ghost projects that are never completed, like the bridge we saw and I shared from Kenya, which they said it costed billions of Kenyan shillings. But this article also adds that corruption also drives away investment. That's where I was at. No business wants to be set up a shop where they have to pay off gatekeepers just to function. It raises
exactly.
the cost of doing businesses.
A business, yeah, that's why. Exactly. You're talking about the corruption, Joe. You're talking about the corruption. Nobody wants to, because now you got to pay up all these corrupt officials. I need my hand to pie. So no one said, no, it's just too corrupt. You can't do it.
Exactly.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one. You too.
Yeah, and it testifies the job creations as well. But he also adds that, and perhaps most of the damaging, it kills trust, of course, which is a very big thing. Because if you don't trust anyone, you can't. Number one, trust, I feel, is the key to everything. And the fact that we have so many corrupt people, even our very own people. I've said we've lived in a very corrupt system to the point where our own people now have
where they normalized it because the Europeans, because they put you in poverty, so corruption has become normal, has become cultural. So that's got to be changed. Mm-hmm. That's why I told you. I kept telling you, Nigeria was never going to be the giant of Africa. It's too corrupt. It's too backward. It was never going to be. People say, "Oh, it's going to come from Nigeria." I told you always, no. Never was it going to come from Nigeria. Never was it going to come from any Nigeria. I didn't know what country was going to come from, but it wasn't going to be no fucking Nigeria. I knew that. I knew that. Yeah. So, Nigeria. I can't really call Nigeria. I told you. People know I'm telling the truth. You've been Nigeria. I can't call Nigeria a country. It's a bunch of tribes put together. Because what is Nigerian culture? It doesn't exist. It's made up. No such thing as Nigerian culture. It's Hausa culture, Fulani culture, it's Yoruba culture, it's Igbo culture. but there's no fucking Nigerian culture. It does not exist. They call themselves Nigerians outside the country. Inside the country, there's no Nigerian culture. They're at odds with each other. They fight. They're all fucking corrupt and fucked up. Country doesn't exist. It doesn't work. It doesn't function as a country. So if it doesn't, because there's no unit, it doesn't function as a country. That's why it's impoverished. Because everybody's stealing from everybody, Joe. Everybody, oh, I gotta get, like you said, I gotta get my piece of Igbo. Just like when you did when the guy just said, hey, I brought you my food. You know who I am. What's that got to do with you paying me? What I do?
That is what is killing trust, literally, even amongst ourselves. We also, as people lose faith in their government institution and even democracy itself, and the system feels rigged. And so many check out entirely or are forced into informal economics to just to survive. Fighting corruption isn't just a moral issue; it's an economic revolution waiting to happen. Clean governance would unlock billions into growth and give millions
of course
fair shots
how
and a better life.
how did they build that plane so fast in Bikini Faso? No corruption, Joe. None.
Exactly.
They built. That's why it was able to be built. And now that's a billion dollar. That's a $1 billion. That's a $1 billion business. Billions of dollars, because you can sell now to Africa because they built that plane better than the Europeans and cheaper, Joby. Half the price of any plane they built it.
Well, other countries like Kenya, we're not learning anything yet. Of course, especially if you have a leader like Ruto, this one is
Kenya's corrupt, Joby.
It is corrupt. Of course, that we know. It is very super corrupt. It is very super corrupt. But we have Kenya, which of course was supposed to be did pay 6.2 billion Kenyan shillings to French consortium. This is after cancelling a highway deal in favor of Chinese firms. So we're still not learning anything. We've had the Chinese constructing our highways. They're still very pathetic. We owe them billions of money. Now Kenya is paying 6.2 billion to French consortium. To do what? Are they the ones coming to literally?
That's the French. So the French are going to go now to the English speaking countries so they can maintain their money. They're going so because the other ones, their colonies in Africa are kicking them out, but the English colonies haven't experienced the treachery of the French. The French colonization was even worse than the English, even more brutal than the English. That's why the majority of French colonies were poorer than the English colonies in Africa. They were more brutal, more skilled, more thievery. So you would do any business with France means you're crazy as hell.
Yeah, but which of course, like you said, this means also we have other French, like not French colonies, but other colonial countries, of course, trying to mark their territory right here, because we already have British, which owns majority of the land in Kenya. They control our tea farm. If I'm to look deeper, probably France right now owns something or is trying to collaborate, because that's the term they use.
It's trying to make up all the. France is a poor country, Joe. All European, it's a scam. They've being caught up. They're poor. England is poor. France is poor.
Did you guys see the video of Macron being slapped by the wife man?
I seen them fighting in Parliament because they're losing Africa. They know they're about to be poor. I seen them fighting. I seen them fighting inside the French Parliament. I didn't see them fight. I seen them all fighting because now they're losing Africa. See all the disrespect, all the poverty porn, all the you Africans are stupid, you're poor, y'all this, knowing damn well that they've got rich off of African people's backs.
Here's a video. Let me share it very quickly before we get to move on to the next conversation. It went viral, and of course, many people like, us on Blackout Fire don't know this is a man. So I was like, well, wow. Yeah, I don't know if it was a slap or a push, but it was still sort of displaying, the inside wars that literally goes on between them, that we don't get to see on cameras. But this was very, very right on time on camera so we get to see.
They try to blame. They want to blame. They try to blame Macron for the losing of Africa, and that's just not true. Your behavior towards Africa was going to wake up anyway. Your behavior had to do with Macron. Could be any president of France. They all treat Africans like shit. Had nothing to do with Macron. It's the behavior that the step. You kept people in poverty, in ignorance, and darkness while you living your best life. You would think this common sense say, you know what? To keep these people enslaved for a little longer, we need to at least give them something. At least let's make sure they got their lights on. Give them a little bit of place to live. Let's not put them in abject poverty. Let's not do that. But no, your hubris, your inhumanity, and your downright just hatred of African people made you do that. But you thought the African was never going to wake up.
I feel like the blame, of course, would go to him and majority if they fail to do what the globalists want, okay? And understanding understanding the bully now, personally for me, I feel like we're looking at those different classes or different sisters who are protecting this big elite or the elites, the family, the most corrupt and those who are running this system behind bars. I feel like, of course, the blame is supposed to go to him, Keith. If you are a Kamala Harris and we're giving you a duty and you fail to do, who else am I supposed to blame then? If it's not you, you swore.
It was going to happen anyway. I'm saying they're trying to blame. I give them blaming them. I'm telling you, it was going to happen anyway. It was going to happen. I'm telling you, it was going to happen regardless. Whether it make a difference who was president. It was going to happen. I'm telling you, it was going to happen anyway. I'm not saying. I
get what you're saying. Yeah, it is. It's still going to happen because people are really waking up. Information is there. We're seeing what is happening. I love right now. Kenyans are saying we don't need the British Army in Kenya anymore. Kenyans, that is the chant.
Exactly.
That is the chant that right now is currently on TikTok. The British Army needs to go. They need to disappear because why are you here? What is your
exactly? Why are you there? Where's the Kenyan army based in England at? Where's that at?
Nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it was based there, trust me, it's not based there to protect you as a Kenyan. It's not there to protect you as a Kenyan or as an African. They don't care. But on this other end, still on Kenya, we have a bill which is seeking to criminalize detention of dead bodies by hospitals. These over unpaid bills. I think I've discussed this, of course, some time back, shared a couple of documentaries where we've seen patients, dead bodies being detained because people are not able to pay the funds that they owe the hospitals. And I was saying, unlike America, let me try look in Kenya how much it costs for you to stay in the hospital a day. Because you saw yesterday in America, that is 300,000. That's 3,000.
3,000.
A whole farm. Why am I staying for a whole farm there?
And guess how much it costs if you're with Jim Mosquito in England? It's free, Joby. Jim Mosquito gets to go for free.
Yeah, I know in England the medical healthcare system is free.
But it's no good British ass. I got paid $3,000. I can't get no donations. God damn it! I can't afford to go to the hospital.
Kenya. Okay. So in Kenya, they're saying that the cost of a day in a hospital, it varies greatly depending on the type of ward, services, and the level of care. Expect to pay anywhere from $7,000. That should be around $65.
75. 7,000 like $54.
54. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Then we have 60. That is to 60 Kenyan shillings, probably $550 there. And also they're saying and more per day to get general wards, and even higher to private. I know private hospitals are expensive, of course, but to the public ones, it doesn't make sense why the fees are always super high, especially if
that's still high. That's still high. That's still high for Kenya. $54 is high, Joby.
Yeah, it is. It is very expensive. Of course, if I am unemployed, I am a mamamboga somewhere from Kibera, and today probably I got a heart attack, and the only safe place to be taken is the biggest hospital we have. Then I have to stay there probably for 2-3 days. Where am I going to get $54? And I'm a mamamboga from Kibera.
Yeah.
job. My children are not probably in school.
Got no job, and ain't nobody gonna be buying your coochie. You keep
No,
that.
and that's actually what leads to more even now. It
What
leads
do
to,
we
I'd say, it leads to more poverty porn because
Of
most of the
course.
children, because of this, if let's say for me, if my parent was detained in a hospital, I'll be forced to drop out of school, look for a job, ensure my brother is going to school, ensure we're paying the rent. I'll ensure literally bills are being paid. That is the kind
Yep.
of poverty porn literally it's now continues. You drop out of school, you become probably also married to someone who has no
Now,
life,
now, imagine why isn't Ibn Toure building kibetas in
Mm,
Burkina Faso?
mm.
Because that's about dignity. Even Kagame said that's not a slum. Are you crazy? That thing he's supposed to tore down there. Africans are not supposed to live in a goddamn kibera. That's not supposed to even exist. But it only exists when the Europeans got there. That's why because they like to see you living all crazy. Like, same thing you see in South Africa, living all crazy and all messed up. That brings them joy. They like seeing you all effed up. Like I was laughing at something where Joey was eating, and this is how you know it's the psychopath. Joey was eating her nice vanilla ice cream down in Tanzania. Now I'm gonna tell Joey it's gonna shock Joey. I'm gonna tell you something, Joey. Because I forgot to tell Joey this. So I was thinking about it when Joey was eating. It was all good. Now Joey, now I want you to look this up because I want you to call me a liar. I don't want you to call me no liar on this.
But what do you want to
Okay?
say about the vanilla ice cream?
I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you. I want you to look this up. Now, Joby.
I already
Now,
know. I shared
now,
the information before
I'm about,
you.
I'm about, I'm about, let me tell you, it's not about the ice cream itself. It's about the
Uh-huh.
eating of it. So in your past life, Joby, when you was in America as an American black woman, your past
Okay.
life, it was illegal, Joby, for for black people to eat ice cream
Yes.
outside in the South. It was illegal for
Yes.
you to eat ice. So if I caught you eating ice cream, Joby, I could beat you and I'd jail you and I'd hang you.
Yes. I saw. I think I don't know if you remember, I think you had a bad internet that day. I did share when on the
Okay.
on
Yeah. That's
the ice cream cone butter.
yeah.
I think it was the nut ice cream cone, something like that. The one there's one
Yeah.
of the
The
solar.
pecan, the butter
Yeah.
pecan you were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And they were saying it was illegal for black people if you're caught eating ice cream, those are the
Yeah.
consequences. Yeah,
All
that
right.
is
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. You would yeah. If you ate your no, not just any ice cream, Joby, your vanilla because vanilla was white and we didn't want to see any niggas. We see these black people licking on a white ice cream. That was
wow.
too. They said that was too pure for you blacks.
Wow. That's my
Psycho.
favorite. That's my favorite apparently. Now what they're gonna
I
do about
know. They're gonna
that
lock your black ass up.
not in this century. We are the inventors of all this literally, flavors. Apart from because if I am to figure out actually because I remember also I shared some recipe of the vanilla, leave alone the vanilla ponds. There's
Yeah.
this remember the animals they use poop. Remember I did share that they use their poop to
Yeah, yeah.
add
You
the
told me. You told me something crazy. I forgot what that was. I don't know whatever it was. Whatever it was, I'm not eating it.
yeah. So definitely that's them. If you are to follow up, of course, the vanilla flavor or recipe, it originates again from black people. But because they always want to claim everything, you came from a cave, not knowing even how to feed yourself,
True.
to
True.
address yourself. So now all of a sudden you're the best cooks in the world. Like, please get the hell out of here with that. You barely even put spices in your food. How
They
does
know
your
they're not the. They know
never
they're not the best. Joby. They know they're not the best cooks. They know that. They know.
have you ever had a meal from a white family? Be honest. Leave alone the one from the
Yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah. And it's disgusting. Ah, man.
Yeah, those boiled cabbages and all those crazy things. It's just
Joby,
insane.
they know. Joby, they know they're terrible cooks. They know that. That's not. Your mosquito lives up there with them them terrible English dishes. My God.
So mosquito, I wonder how you keep up, man. But anyway, as we get to move on to the next conversation, we have, of course, DRC Congo, Chad, Eritrea, and Sudan, and Somali being among the countries hit by travel ban. This is coming from Trump. Of course, the videos are circulating, going viral online. And this is why I'm talking about Africa now restrategizing its governance. The way Namibia is doing right now, I love the fact that we have some countries which are taking serious measures on how, looking at the funds we've been losing, or the funds the embassies actually have been losing because of denying Africans visas to go to European countries. Of course, which number one, you're going to do nothing there. The jobs promised are not really jobs. We should learn better right now from even Black brothers who are and sisters who are in the States. Do research before you go to America. Unless you want to become one of the Uber drivers, you want to become a McDonald's or Popeye's delivery guy, which also is probably, I do think you need connections to get to that level. You'll end up dying in cold, just like the Kenyans we've seen dying in Canada before. So I've seen countries like Namibia, of course, which you've seen the president. She did say that if Namibians are required to have a visa to go to US, so do the US citizens require a visa to come to Namibia. I think also Botswana did pass the same thing. I've seen a few for several countries.
Botswana, Zimbabwe, not Zambia, because what they've been doing to hustle the Africans. They pay Africans for food, Joe. So what they've been doing is they make you pay for a visa, knowing they're not going to give it to the majority of you, but they kept the money. So this is $1 million slush fund the Europeans have been making off Africans by denying, because they don't refund the money when they deny you, Joby. They keep their money. So this is Europeans and Americans, millions of dollars off of Africans. Millions. This is absolutely how crazy.
Because they never returned the funds. I think it was in Namibia.
I just said, Joe, but they never returned the funds. It's not refundable. That's why I said it's $1 million slush fund. I said, how do Africans always just tolerate this level of disrespect over and over and over again? Who tolerates this level of disrespect over and over and over again? That this is new, that you finally say, okay, we're not gonna you should have known immediately when you wasn't getting your money back that they were making millions of dollars off your people just trying to apply for a visa. You're supposed to have been said, hell no. They're making millions of dollars from your ass. You already broke and poor from stealing your resources. Now they're stealing your money with this visa hustle nonsense. Are you crazy?
It was, I think, Namibia or Zimbabwe. Remember the video you shared with me some time back of a woman who was complaining?
That was Namibia.
The same thing has been happening here in Kenya. Kenyans are complaining.
Throughout Africa, Joe, but not just Africa, Joe.
We can't keep on tolerating it, just like you said. We can't, because especially from what now is happening, Trump has the audacity to ban countries like Congo, where you've been stealing resources. You don't want the people to even dare. We have Chad, Eritrea. This actually, the countries mentioned are poor, not in resources, but the people are poor. They don't even have the funds to get even, leave alone a visa, a passport. Even a passport, probably even an identification card, because we're really dealing with now a corrupt system where you have to pay for these things to be given to you. Congo, Chad, Eritrea, Sudan, a country full of war.
The amount of money they got to save, Joby, to get a visa, and then a passport. You got a passport, then a visa process. I don't know how much it costs. I think the visa is like $500 USD. How long does it take an African to get $500 in a regular economy who doesn't have your job or somebody, just a regular job, only making like $2 a day? What? And then when I apply, I get denied, but you keep my money. What are you talking about? How you keep my? You shouldn't be authorized to pay, Joby, until you got approved. Why am I paying for something I'm not even approved for? Then I'm just applying. You're supposed to pay. You're supposed to pay after you get approved. That'd be everything they do is always corrupt and unfair. And I told you, and they do it to Africans, they'll do it to Asians and all that kind of shit because they got the respect. I told they get the joy in disrespect. And that's what Ibram Torre said. I told you that. He said, this airplane we built is about our dignity and our respect as people. We will no longer allow people to disrespect us. That's what I'm telling you about. The majority is going after those people in Tanzania. The African is allowed disrespect on a level that's absolutely insane. You've allowed people to disrespect you and play in your goddamn face, and that's why they enjoy it. And you did it to people that get joy out of seeing you effed up, and they get joy out of it. So that's why they ran them. Oh, we want to buy the plane. We're not letting you buy something we just built. Then you lock us out of our own plane. No, this is about our dignity and our respect as Africans. Nothing is worth your dignity and your respect in Africans. You've given that up. That's why you get disrespected all over the planet. You allow disrespect, and you gotta say no more. So we said Joe be an even trouble. You take that back. People playing in your goddamn face. You crazy? I won't be disrespected by you and no one else. And that's what they doing. Go ahead, Joe.
It needs a level of education. It needs a level of understanding. It needs a level of rage for you to be able to have that kind of response. Because that's what I've really learned. Because if I look at me and all throughout the years of learning everything, probably if this was to happen to me, probably in 2021. Wait, was it 2021 that happened to us, or 2022?
That was right. That was 20. That was either it was 2021. Just because it was right at the end of 2021.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably if it caught me maybe years before that, coming to Blackout Fire, I would not have had the
Of course,
same.
you wouldn't have the confidence. You had the confidence. Exactly. You wouldn't have the confidence. You wouldn't have had the knowing.
I'm not the type to take disrespect. That is a no, because I get it even from my own father. I'll check on you. I don't care if you're gonna hate me, chase me out of your life. I've told you how I feel, because I'm a very expressional person, and I just feel it would have been different. It would have been. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it really takes a level of, number one, learning. Who are we dealing with? Why are we dealing with this? Who are these people? Because those are the type of stuff I've learned right here. Who are we dealing with? Why are we dealing with what we're dealing with? Which race is this? Where did it come from? Why do they behave how they behave? Then
exactly.
Understand your history also as a person. What's the history? How does it affect me? Am I supposed to be affected by it? Of course it affects you, because of today's system, the way it is set up. It is what has been ruling since way back then. Exactly. And from there, you have the understanding of maybe remaining calm, or if you remaining calm in certain situation, but understanding when to react, it's really, really important, because we not just understanding also we are Black people, and before the system gets to be changed, you can't just go acting silly and crazy, causing war and fight. It's gonna be them over you always with this system. Always. So exactly. You need to understand. Their system. Yeah, for me, what I felt like I've understood is I knew and I know now how to approach them. Like, I'll understand this is wrong. Does it concern me? If I feel I'm concerned, yes, then I have the right to react. I do have the right to react. If I feel the person being attacked, or this person cannot talk for themselves, I will. That's just me. That's me. I will stand up. Even our fellow Africans, man, I'll check on you. I'll check on you. I'll check on you. I'll not be seeing you acting silly and you expect me to be smiling with you. No. I'll check on you. And most people, like we've seen and understanding what we're talking about, corruption, bribery, the system it has been set up. We have people who don't like accountability. You're being questioned. Hey, you're doing wrong. You did this. This is right. We must have accountability. It is very, very important. And that's the way forward. Being to live rightfully with trust, again, goes back to trust.
But that's coming back, Joe. That's coming back because the youth are now demanding it. So the youth are the majority in Africa. So that's going to come regardless whether who likes it or not.
Exactly. So we have Trump. Let me share this very quickly. We should be very full of rage, even if it's, because other countries I see other people celebrating. No, Kenya is not there, Tanzania is not there. We shouldn't be happy about this, that other countries are being hit by this. If we understood what unity is as a people, we should be full of rage, because why is it that you are banning this and this country, or this and these people from coming to your continent, while you have embassies, you have your people marking territories actually in where it's rich, resourced areas? And
Exactly.
the question was, because look at Sudan. If you're talking about Sudan, Sudan is all because of oil. The water has been going there for decades. Even on the 2 year we're seeing right now, Sudan has always been
There was the
war.
U.S. is responsible for the war in Sudan. So the U.S. backed by
Hmm?
Dubai, the Emirates, the Emirates. So, well, those Negroes wanted to say they were Arab, and so they got caught up in they Arab culture,
But
and
still,
the Arab
I,
hate black people.
I
The white
feel like
Arabs hate them.
if you want to take over Africa, this is my understanding of Ibrahim Traore's strategy now. Okay, if you want to take completely over certain region or take power, you won't just come saying, you because you live here, I know you hate this place, you hate these people, you still no, you won't go like that. Number one, you need to. I feel like what you need to do, and that's what I'm saying. If we had a sense of understanding unity. We're not going to start saying, oh, because Sudan right now is marked by Arabs, we have Libya, which is marked by Arabs, we have Eritrea, which has half Eritreans and other half Arabs. If we go that way, we're not going to be able to make it. We need to unify first, and that is what Ibrahim Traore actually is
No,
doing.
of
We
course,
need to unify,
I'm not
chip
blaming them.
away from enemy.
I'm not blaming them. I'm telling you to understand why you're in the situation you're in. That's
Mm-hmm.
why you're in the. That's why they broke up the first stuff, and it's already. They already said that America already said they were going to break up Sudan back in 2000. They said we're going to invade Libya, which they did destroy it. We're going to invade Iraq. We're going to destroy it. We're going to invade Sudan, Somalia, Syria. They destroyed. We're going to Afghanistan. These are the countries said they're going to break up and destroy. So they destroyed Iraq. They destroyed Syria. Destroyed Libya. They're in the process of destroying Sudan right now. They've already broken up into two different countries now. They wanted three or four so they can control, like you said, the resources out of it. So the resources, they put their puppets in there. All the money goes to them. They want to. They said they're going to get Somalia, break it up some more. It's already broke up now. You got Somaliland and Somalia. We're going to break it up into 5 different countries. And so those are the countries they wanted to get. So they already got them: Syria, Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan, Sudan, Somalia. One more I'm missing. Lebanon. Maybe one more missing. Look, it was I only named
I
6.
bet
It was 7.
Somali probably the main war should be, because they do have different resources. I see they have uranium, they have iron, they have they have gypsum, they have bauxite, they have copper salt. The biggest war should be
Yep.
would be natural gas, which also they do have because
Natural gas. So
mm,
it's about me stealing everything I can get from you. So that's the thing about Africa is to keep. Yeah, Joe. The whole thing was about stealing African resources. That's what makes the world rich. That's all I can build. Europeans don't have any resources, Joe. They're a poor continent. There are no resources there. So where did it come from? From Africa. Europe has always been impoverished. Bad food, bad diets, bad everything. And then always warmongering. They killed each other till they got
yes.
control of Africa.
Exactly. So let me share this here what caused this particular ban, because they're saying it's an
The
Egyptian.
ban takes effect on Monday at 12:01 a.m., meaning those who intended to travel from the countries on the list have some days to cancel their plans, even seek refunds. While travel from Burundi, Sierra Leone and Togo is not banned, heightened restrictions will apply on visitors from those countries. In a video released on social media, Trump tied the new ban on Sunday's terror attack
If you're
in
not
Colorado,
if
blaming
you're
it on
not banned,
visitors who overstayed.
if you're not banned, if you're not banned, it means your country is a super puppet state. That's what it means. Okay?
Mm.
If you're not banned, it's that your country is one of the super puppet states that America uses to control the rest of Africa.
But okay, Congo, the small Congo kid, it's run by
Congo,
Africans.
isn't
Sudan,
Congo banned? Is Congo banned?
yeah, it's been banned.
Yeah. It's not a super puppet state. Congo's not a super puppet state, even though you got people in
It's
there
super
stealing.
super puppet. Okay, super. It is controlled by a puppet, but it's not a super puppet state. That's what you mean. That's what you mean.
Their visas. The suspect in the attack is from Egypt, a country that is not on Trump's restricted list. The U.S. president said some countries had deficient screening and vetting, or have refused to take back their own citizens facing deportation. During his first term, Trump issued an executive order in January 2017 banning travel to the U.S. by citizens of 7 predominantly Muslim countries: Iraq, Syria, Iran, Sudan, Libya, Somalia, and Yemen. He defended the initial ban on national security grounds.
Yeah, so we have a country like Egypt, which has
So we know why he said Sudan, because Sudan knows that the United States is back in that war to overthrow the country and break it up some more. We know why Yemen, they've been bombing Yemen because Yemen been fighting their ass in the Red Sea, and also launching bombs into Israel. They said they're not going to stop. They're not going to allow you to genocide people. So we know the country that they're talking about. It's not like America is not the bastion of goodness and morality. So you should be honored that you're banned by these wicked ass bastards. You should be honored and build your damn country so you won't have to come. Like even Tory say, we're gonna build the country. Everybody comes back home. We don't need nobody leaving out of here. Why would you leave to go there?
I think it should be a mutual reciprocation or a mutual,
Yeah, you ban them too. Exactly. You're supposed to exactly.
Yeah, it should be.
But they gonna laugh because those all poor countries say, yeah, we're gonna ban you. Every white American say, yeah, we ain't going to them shithole countries no way. But you should reciprocate it though, Joby. You should.
Exactly.
But the white American gonna tell you we're not going to shithole countries. They can ban us. I was like I was never going to go to Somalia or Sudan or. Most Americans can't even find those. Most Americans are stupid, Joe. They can't countries on a map. If I went out here and asked, hey, show me where Sudan is on a map. I don't know. Is that by North Carolina? Another country, moron, not America. Where's it at? I don't know. Where's Yemen at? Who? Yeah. Mayonnaise? Not mayonnaise. Yemen. I never heard of the place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most people don't know a lot about the African. Oh my God, the education we're given is so basic. It's so trash. Okay,
a country that no one's ever heard of named Lesotho.
So basic. Trust me, it's super basic. Like, oh my goodness, which is very pathetic.
Country, Joby.
You know, we're not taught deep about. We thought this is the African countries. We're not taught deep about these other African countries. Just this is the African map. This is what about them? What is happening there? Is it African people living in Libya? African people living in Morocco? No, we're not taught any of that. So it's super insane. But on the last conversation of the day, we do have Dr. Arikana right here. I was talking about the disrespect that African leaders, of course, have been receiving. This, of course, comes in hand with what Ramaphosa's response was regarding Trump's, remarks when it comes to white genocide. She's talking about how African leaders, the disrespect has always been there. You know, it's a new day, yeah, but the disrespect has always been there. And also we have Ibrahim Traore who called it out.
And a reminder to the African leaders that this is a new day, that this is a new game, that they need to re-strategize the manner in which diplomacy used to be handled. That game is over.
President using the meeting to amplify discredited claims of a white genocide in South Africa, while Ramaphosa was criticized by some for not forcefully refuting Trump's allegations. His composed demeanor and diplomatic poise has been seen by some as a good move, particularly for what could have taken place behind closed doors. Let's now speak to Dr. Arikana Chomborikau, who is a Pan-Africanist as well as a former African Union ambassador to the U.S. Dr. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. It's been described by some, including President Ramaphosa, as a successful meeting, while others say it was, in fact, cringeworthy. How would you describe the encounter in the Oval Office?
Well, I think it was a step in the right direction for President Trump to invite President Ramaphosa to come to the White House to discuss issues to do with trade.
I feel like that is, for me, I do disagree. If we really were sovereign countries, democratic countries, that we have the ability of making decisions ourselves, number one, we should be able to say no to these meetings. Why do I have to come meet you? Why won't you come meet me? Who you think you are the victim, or your people are being victimized in my country? Come talk about the issues in my country. But no, Trump has the audacity. Still, it's not even disrespectful enough for Ramaphosa for this man saying he doesn't know any place called Lesotho or whatever he said in South Africa. So for me, I refuse. It's not a good step. Seeing African leaders, every single time they're given a call, they respond. When these other European nations sneeze, you take the handkerchief ready to wipe out the nose. We shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be doing that. Knowing that, this is why it goes back to what I was talking about on Monday. Africans, where we've lost the sense of ourselves. Once you know yourself again, you have your confidence, you won't be toyed around. Understanding your position as a president, you won't be toyed around. Ramaphosa has it's not a good step, Dr. Arikana. That I refuse. These issues should be discussed and dealt with right here in Africa. African leaders should be sitting down. If the African Union actually was a true organization working for Africans, discuss this. Call this how disrespectful it is. And now you don't want to see the international companies or countries dealing or amending, coming in between your affairs. Those are the straight rules that should be set up. But because we're dealing with bootlickers, handkerchief wipers, and these people sneeze and the mucus is running, African leaders are ready to give out the services. The real definition of house Negroes is what we have with African puppets. These are not field Negroes.
First and foremost. The other issues that were discussed pertaining to the genocide, I'm hoping that they were secondary to the primary reason why he went to Washington with his team. On a separate note, I view this trip and the treatment that President Ramaphosa received from the US government as a perfect example and a reminder to the African leaders that this is a new day, that this is a new game, that they need to re-strategize the manner in which diplomacy used to be handled. That game is over.
Well, I don't think there's anything different that much, being honest. It's just a different president. Yes, it's a new day. It's just a different president. The same policies still apply where African leaders are still shown disrespect, so it doesn't change anything. The game is still the same. Africa remains on the bottom. White people always on the top. So what game has changed here, Dr. Arikana? I'm starting to doubt you now, because I feel like also you appearing on these mainstream medias, being interviewed about all these questions, being straightforward. Where is that rage of understanding what you're dealing with again?
What you say? What happened? I missed it. What happened?
I'm sharing this video where we're talking about Ramaphosa, and she's giving her remarks about the disrespect African leaders have been receiving. She's saying, number one, she thinks it's a good move that Trump did make that call. And personally, I say it's not a good move, because why is it
make what call? Make what call, Joby? Make what call?
Go to the White House. Why
make
is
what call?
For Ramaphosa to go to the White House? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you said it was a good deal. You saying it was a good deal for him to go, or what do you mean? I'm not understanding.
That's what she's saying. She's saying it's a good thing that Trump made a call to Ramaphosa to go to the White House. Personally, I'm saying it's not a good image, because every time these African leaders, when this white
it's a good image for him to do it. It would have been a better image for Ramaphosa. Would have been like even Teray said, no, don't go. You flex power. This is the second or third time he's asked Ibrahim Traoré to show up. He said, not going over to meet your ass.
That's what
don't bring nobody to meet me. So it is a good thing to be invited. It's a bad thing for his ass to go. And it's also was a bad look for him to be disrespected. And shout out to Ghana's president who said that. If you didn't know you was being disrespected in your, and I told you, the disrespect you morons take is dangerous on the world stage. So I will give Joby that. You look crazy as hell having this white supremacist talk to you crazy. So you should have just, if you're not going to stand up for yourself, you should have never went. So let me see what she said. Do it again, Joe. In there without. Let me see what she says. Before I beat her up.
Has been seen by some as a good move, particularly for what could have taken place behind closed doors. Let's now speak to Dr. Arikana Chomborikau, who is a Pan-Africanist as well as a former African Union ambassador.
Remember, she's a diplomat.
Dr.
Remember,
good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. It's been described by some, including President Ramaphosa, as a successful meeting, while others say it was, in fact, cringeworthy. How would you describe the encounter in the Oval Office?
Well, I think it was a step in the right direction for President Trump to invite President Ramaphosa to come to the White House to discuss issues to do with trade.
Exactly. So that's why I have a problem. Number one, yes, you are called, which is a good thing. Okay, yes, we see the US president, despite not noticing Lesotho, he notices there's a country called South Africa. Thank you for the invite. Is it a must you go? No, it's not.
It's not.
Especially the fact that this is actually offensive words where your
exactly.
country is accused of killing your people. This should be very disrespectful. You should say no. And as a matter of fact, kid, you should come to my country. You're gonna come no Lesotho right here. You're gonna show me the proof which people
he knows where Lesotho's at, Joby. He's doing it, but he's being disrespectful. I love it. He's being brutal with that disrespect.
That's exactly what we're talking about. The fact that you don't even why are you talking about South Africa if you don't even know Lesotho? Why are you talking about
Lesotho, Joby? He's being disrespectful.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. I know he knows, but it's the disrespect. It's the disrespect. Why are you attending these meetings every single? Because it's not the first time. These African leaders, every time this
because they're booed. Exactly. Because they're booed. Every time the white master says jump, they say how high, Joby.
This time is when they sneeze, they're ready to wipe the mucus. That's what literally shows. It's more than jumping now. That's how much disrespect you're being shown on your face. They can spit on you because they are white people. You know, you take orders from them, as a matter of fact. So it's
cringe like the lady was saying, it was cringeworthy. Exactly. It's the same thing. You've been put on a bus where you've been put on a bus in England. You've been disrespected when the Pope died. The disrespect, but they allowed this disrespect to continue. Why didn't he say something while he was being? Trump was, you can't disrespect me in my face like that, Joey. Trump was, the amount of, like they said, was cringe. The amount of disrespect he gave to Ramaphosa. Shout out to Malibu, said the truth. Say, you're not worried about the disrespect. You talk about us in the parliament. Does Ramaphosa worry about the disrespect he got in the White House? Everybody knows it was disrespectful, Joe. It was in your face.
Exactly. And then she goes ahead and thinks about how it's a new day. Of course, it's a new day. The game is different. It's not.
It ain't a new day if you don't act it. It ain't a new day if you don't act a day. It ain't a new day for that bootleg. But Kenny Fox is making a new day. It's going to be the United States of Africa, whether you like it or not, because they always said that. So it's almost like we're building the old Mali Empire, the Mosunga Empire. Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger said they're going to become one country. So as they start taking out, all other African nations want to join. They said even Traore would be the president. They have one military. Now we know how to make planes, and they can start making military weapons. All other nations in Africa, you either will get down or you're going to lay down. That's what's coming, and the white man won't be able to save you. You're going to get down or you're going to lay down. Because all bootlicking morons, I don't want to be a part of that. The people are going to come after you anyway. People going to come and get that ass. But it's about respect. So that's what they're talking about. We're not going to allow us to be disrespected no more.
You shouldn't. You should not. But yes, we're coming to the end of today's conversation. I'll share the rest of the video for those who don't.
But let me say something, Joby. I know, did you guys know about, I've been going to tell Joby this for a love, because I know I know. Camas is Canberra, right, Joby?
Yep.
And you're part Canberra, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys know? I meant to say this a long time ago. I know how he left after these Spanish. Do you guys know half your family, guys, were now almost whited out or down, and it was Canberra's taking their slaves 200 years ago, taken down to South America, and they're still there. Do you guys know about that?
No.
See, okay, put this up, Joey. Say the Canberra community in Paraguay.
In where?
These are your, yes, right.
In what?
In
Oh, in
Paraguay.
Paraguay. I think I saw a video
Yeah,
like that. I
yeah.
didn't literally watch it, but yeah, okay, let me pull it.
The
Thank you.
Canberra community in Paraguay. I meant to tell you guys that a long time ago. So what they know about their cousins being in Paraguay were taking away slaves 200 years ago before there was no Kenya didn't exist. You can't call them Kenyans. Now they can't. There's no Kenya. Kenya didn't exist.
Let me see if I
We
can
can't.
find it. I bumped into that video earlier today. Just a minute.
Yeah, so that's your people almost white. They got a few blacks. They almost all whited out. so 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 that's what Camus can go get his Hispanic
Never heard of
booty he's
this, but
loving.
there's a whole community in South America descendant from a Kenyan tribe called the Kamba. And thank you
Right.
to a follower who brought this information to me.
But they want
The
Kenya no
Kamba
more.
are one of Kenya's major tribes, for those of you who don't know. They're known for their rich storytelling traditions, music, and history as long-distance traders and skilled warriors. Now, here's the wild part. In 1820, a Uruguayan general named Jose Artigas went into exile in Paraguay. He didn't go alone. He took with him 250 African soldiers and their families. Many of them were Kamba. Paraguay gave them land near the capital, and they built a village
Of
called
course, it was all stolen.
Kua, meaning the place of the Kamba. Another group later formed a community called the Kamba Kokwe. Today, their descendants still live there, and they've kept parts of their Kenyan identity alive for over 200 years.
They're not
They
Kenyan. There was
still
no Kenya.
dance,
Kenya did not
drum,
exist. There was no Kenyan lady. Kenya did not exist. There was no such place called Kenya. Did not exist. Go ahead, Joe.
and honor their African roots, even though they've faced racism and lost much of
Of
the
course they
land
think
they were
racist. Of
once
course they got the
given.
land stolen.
This
Of
isn't
course
just
the white people stole their land, like always.
African history, it's world history, and it deserves to be told. This is the Africa you're not shown, but I'm here to show you.
Yeah, so that's the part they live.
So now Camus can go get his mixed Latinos over there with he desires, and they're partly and they're Canva.
That's what's up. I'll let him know. I'll share with him. Shout to Byron
let,
Scott.
let, let him know. Let him know he can live his Latino dream, Joby, without leaving the tribe.
I'll let him know. But shout out to Byron Scott once again. He says, great show yesterday. Thank you. Glad you did enjoy. Shout out to Joe Mosquito. I also see he says wife. I thought that was his grandma. Remember, we did discover that Macron's wife allegedly
It's a man. I ain't allegedly. It is a man.
And then we also have John Mosquito says first piano, then ice cream. I know you guys, you Negroes never. You are not supposed to have like you're not supposed to have a house, no good business,
no house, no ice. They didn't want to. Your mosquito. They didn't want to see you have ice cream. You know how psychopathic you gotta be. We can't even have ice cream. God damn. We're dealing with a psychopath.
I also see John Mosquito says in her mind she thinks America is inviting South Africa president out of desperation. Really, when they're not.
I don't think she thinks that. Her ass is Zimbabwean, so she knows a lot. I think. Remember she's a diplomat, so she's got to be. She's not straightforward in her speech. Like Ibram said, I'm not a diplomat. We're gonna do the plain truth, like me and Joby. So so diplomats just tell lies, nice flowery words. So remember, she was a diplomat. She was part of the African Union. So and that's why she got fired for saying too much truth. Wasn't a lot, but it was too much. Because diplomats are supposed to keep things light and vague.
She needs
You're not
to
supposed to tell any truth. Go ahead, Joby.
She needs to be more brutal, She's becoming too soft for me. But anyway, family, have yourselves a beautiful rest part of your morning. We're coming to the end of today's conversation right here.
You just further along, Joby, with honesty. You're like me. You're less diplomatic. We wouldn't be good diplomats because we would tell the truth. And diplomats are gotta be able to tell shades of lies. Like, oh, you're looking good, Joby. Let's say you're all fucked up looking, Joby. Oh, Joby, you look so lovely today. How's everything going? I'm so happy to see you.
Good thing I know, and I know how to detect kappas like you, so I won't listen to that crap. I won't listen to that crap of you telling me I look good and I know I don't look good. Come on, get the hell out of my face with that. I know when I look good, so when you set me up, like I know, and you know that too.
It's called diplomatic. It's called diplomatic language, Joby.
Yeah, that's why I'm able to detect those kind of fake diplomatic liars, Yeah, but anyway, family, much love. Have yourself a beautiful day. Of course, see you later on the reaction time. We shall be coming back later.
Yeah, reaction time. I'm gonna give Canvas a ticket to Paraguay.
And then later tonight, remember, I shall be on the radio, on the network, and of course on TikTok for the culture show. So pull in your requests. If you follow Keith saying that you don't pull up requests, that's on you. I'll be there, Jan, and myself.
Listen.
You won't stop the reggae. Stand there.
Oh man, we go reggae. I'm out.
You won't stop the reggae at all. But much love, family. Have yourself.
Even Trey is Joby's boy. He loves that reggae. Even Trey loves reggae too. The reggae is a cultural thing. It's a great thing about liberation. I'm like, oh man.
Teach your soul different. You need a Lucky Dube so that you can understand it. Go listen to Lucky Dube today.
Lucky Dube ain't even Jamaican. He's South African.
Yeah, go to your phone and search for Lucky Dube and listen to his music, and you don't know what to think. Give me your honest review.
Lucky Dube ain't even Jamaican. He's South African.
We still don't care. We love you.
Maybe you can go
African.
But I know he's doing reggae music, so right to say he's African.
I want that. You should know not to
Much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful.
Lucky Dube. Nobody heard of Lucky Dube. So Joby played that Negro.